She had a famous restaurant. She had money, status, and a sharp mind. Then one man made a promise that should have sounded insane. He said that if she trusted him completely, if she passed every test he gave her, even her dog would never die. That was the lie that cracked open her life, and once it got in, everything fell apart. We will call her Lena. Lena built something real. A beautiful restaurant in New York. Stylish, expensive, always full. People saw success, they saw confidence. What they did not see was how lonely she was. Building something big can isolate you. The bigger it gets, the fewer honest people stay around. Lena had worked for years creating a life that looked strong from the outside while running on pressure and very little rest. Then a man appeared online. We will call him Evan. He did not come in like a storm. He came in like relief. He listened. He mirrored her values. He made her feel understood in a private, almost secret way. And when someone reaches your loneliness before they reach your logic, they can move very fast. His stories were always vague. His past shifted. He hinted at big money, secret connections, powerful people. Lena noticed. Then she explained it away. A smart person does not fall because they see nothing. They fall because they see something strange and decide there must be a good reason for it. That was the first trap. Evan did not ask for everything at once. First, he learned what Lena loved most. It was not the restaurant. It was not the fame. It was her dog. That dog was home. Safety. The one bond in her life that felt fully clean. So he built his lie around exactly that. He talked about hidden systems, spiritual tests, unseen rules. He made confusion sound profound. And then he told her that if she could prove total trust, impossible rewards would come. More money, more protection, and yes, even the dog would live forever. That is the dark genius of magical thinking. It does not try to beat logic in a fair fight. It walks around logic and grabs desire by the throat. The first requests were small, a transfer here, a favor there, each one framed as a test, not a demand. A test. If she hesitated, he acted quietly disappointed. That made it worse, because now she felt she had failed something sacred. He was training her, teaching her that love had a price. That trust meant obedience, that questions were weakness. Every time she gave in, the next request came faster. Soon, Lena was sending serious money. Not for the business, not for payroll. For him, always for him. He always had a reason, a delay, a locked account. A final obstacle. Repayment was always close. One more step would change everything. There is a line manipulators love to use. You have already come this far. That line is poison, because now the victim is no longer protecting the future. They are protecting the pain they already paid for. If they stop now, they have to face what it all meant. So they keep going. Lena kept going. Meanwhile, her business started to collapse. Bills went unpaid. Staff grew anxious. People who had stood by her for years started asking hard questions. Evan hated that. Manipulators hate witnesses. So he did what they always do. He cut her away from anyone who could help her think clearly. He turned her against loyal employees, made them look like threats, pushed out the people who still had her trust, then filled the space with fear and noise. When Lena pushed back, he used a quieter weapon. He suggested she was overreacting, unstable, emotional. The message was clear. If you disagree with me, something is wrong with you. That is gaslighting at its coldest. Not just changing facts, changing your relationship with your own sanity. The moment someone trains you to fear your own thoughts, they no longer need chains. The restaurant was bleeding. Workers were waiting to be paid. Trust inside the business was turning into panic. Lena was trying to hold two worlds together. In public, the polished owner. In private, trapped inside a system of tests, guilt, and pressure. Evan stayed calm through all of it. That is what made him dangerous. He did not need to scream, he only needed to keep moving the finish line. Keep her chasing one more promise, one more breakthrough, one more answer. Some lies are too absurd to work on strangers, but on the right person, under the right pressure, they work perfectly. Lena lost sleep. She lost perspective. She lost the people who could have pulled her out. By the time a victim looks foolish from the outside, they are usually exhausted and deeply conditioned on the inside. The business shut down. The empire she built collapsed in front of everyone. And still, she stayed with him. People judge that too fast. They ask why she did not leave. They should ask what he had already done to her sense of reality. Some prisons do not have walls. They have rewards, tests, and just enough hope to keep you kneeling. When the pressure closed in, Lena disappeared with the man who caused it. That shocked people, but it makes sense when you understand coercive control. If your mind has been trained to believe one person holds the answer, you do not run from them, you run with them. So she did. The woman who once ran a celebrated business was now hiding in cheap rooms, moving constantly, living inside the ruins of a fantasy. Then the twist came. The mysterious guide, the master of hidden systems. He was not caught through some dramatic confrontation. He was not exposed by a clever investigation. He was found through something painfully ordinary, a food delivery order. That is how many predators fall, not through genius, through habit, through the arrogance of believing they are always one step ahead. When it ended, the spell began to crack. Not all at once, but enough for the promise to sound hollow. Enough for Lena to see that the great test of trust had always been a theft. The aftermath was not clean. It never is. Lena faced public shame, legal consequences, the loss of everything she had built. People argued over whether she was victim or accomplice. That is another cruelty survivors face. They are expected to explain irrational behavior from a state that was made irrational on purpose. Evan left damage everywhere and clarity nowhere. But survival has its own quiet power. Once a lie is named, it starts losing oxygen. Sometimes that is the first real step back to yourself. This was not just a money story, it was a mind story. The first tactic was manufactured dependency. He found the deepest emotional point in her life and built his entire control around it. The second was gaslighting. He trained her to distrust her own judgment every time it threatened his power. The third was isolation. He removed the people who could have helped her see clearly. Watch for these signs in your own life. Be careful with anyone who turns love into a test. Be careful with anyone who keeps promising a reward right after one more sacrifice. And be careful with anyone who responds to your valid concerns by questioning your mental health. That is not love. That is not guidance. That is control wearing a soft voice. The most dangerous manipulators do not always break down the door. Sometimes they ask for trust, one small piece at a time, until your whole life is sitting in their hands. If you recognized any of these patterns, you are not alone. Subscribe to see the manipulation tactics most people never notice. Because the most dangerous lies are not the ones that sound evil. They are the ones that sound exactly like hope.